The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
All right, welcome. It's Thursday, the dirty first day of October 2024. Welcome to Bermuda's Daily Talk Show. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House Lenders, and People's Pharmacy. I'm Jamel Hartman, and Maya Palacio will be with you in a bit to bring you the latest in her news break brought to you by People's Pharmacy. How's everybody doing today? It's Halloween. I'm not just getting back from work for the night. It's Halloween. Thought this is what we did on Halloween. Why are you all judging me? This is my costume this year. I don't know who I'm going as. Maybe I'm going as Donald Trump to steal an election. I don't know. I don't know. Don't ask me any crazy questions. Look, somebody asked, are we going to be doing something for Halloween, dressing up? And I said, ooh, I forgot. So at the last minute, I was trying to find some stuff on Amazon and it wouldn't arrive until mid-November. So that's all I could come up with, a ski mask. So this is what you're going to get. It's what you're going to get. Real quickly. I went to Target the other day. You all call it Target. I wanted to see if because you know me, I usually get my candy on November 1st discount. But I thought, things are different these days. Maybe they know if they still have a lot of candy on the shelves leading up to Halloween, that we get discounts. Man, they hadn't started candy discounts on Tuesday when I went. How cheap are they? And then when they're stuck with all that candy, they'll be talking about, oh, retail's down this year, They could have made a killing selling me that candy or just giving me a day in advance discount, but they didn't. So, by the way, I'm not gonna go on my normal candy blitz this year. Changing my life, and I don't have that many visitors to. Well, speaking of which, I don't even know if there are going to be people coming in my door trick or treating. I just want to answer. I hadn't thought of that. Maybe I should have got a little candy for if somebody comes to my door, but no. Hopefully, I won't get anyone because I don't want to be that only person who doesn't have anything and then reputate, oh, that's the cheap guy right there coming out there. I don't care. Anyway, David Michael Wilson says, happy thankful Thursday, TDH fam and crew. Let's have an attitude of gratitude and seize the day. Indeed, David, indeed. And Halloween, this is a significant day for some. Greetings, everyone, and thanks for making us part of your daily routine. A good one today as we welcome Tamara Richardson on from People's Pharmacy. She's going to be discussing their 40 years of serving the community. The Daily Play is going to be a Name That Place. As you can see, I don't have a co-host, so that means somebody in the audience is going to be lucky today. Yeah, you are good. Well, that's if you get it right, you'll be eligible for this week's prize in the Friday draw. All right. If you haven't already, please make sure you fill out the survey. It's still up for a few more, it's not done yet. So if you haven't done it already, please fill out the survey. Your feedback is crucial in helping us improve what it is that we do. Don't forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. All right, well, let's jump into today's conversation. This is hot, man. I don't know, man. I'm sweating under here. Gee, I tried. Woo. Ooh, yeah, I couldn't be no robber. I definitely wouldn't make it because my goodness, how they do that? How they do that? My beard sweating and stuff. Hold up. Good thing I didn't put. Well, good thing I didn't put lotion on. I'm letting you all in my business. Good thing I didn't put no lotion on. I'd be really dripping this morning. But anyway, I've got a question for you all because we take a day off, and all of a sudden, everybody wants a day off. Yeah, we had day off yesterday, and it looks like the teachers at Cedar Bridge Academy took the day off as well because they had some concerns. I want to say we reported on something like this not long ago where there were some concerns with the principal of Cedar Bridge Academy out there. So let me just go to the Royal Gazette. So the article is titled "Cedar Bridge Closed as 3/4 of Staff Absent." And the story goes on to say the Ministry of Education said that most of the 59 absences were uncertified. A spokeswoman said today the Ministry of Education has been forced to announce the closure of Cedar Bridge Academy due to an unusually high number of teacher and paraeducator absences. This is yesterday, by the way. As of 6:23 a.m., 59 of Cedar Bridge's 77 staff members had reported absent. The majority of these are uncertified sick leave absences alongside 2 approved absences and 1 absence for a staff member attending to a sick child. While students have been provided assignments and can access additional materials on Google Classroom, the school's administration is conducting checks to ensure assignments are posted and accessible to minimize any disruption to student learning during this time. The Royal Gazette reported on industrial unrest at Cedar Bridge Academy earlier this month when staff staged a sit-out to discuss recruitment challenges at the school, which included cover by regular teachers for signature learning teachers who had not yet been hired. All right. Let me go because I know we got something from the ministry last night. And it came from the Ministry of Education said this last night, and Maya will probably share more of this in her report. It says, a government spokesperson said today, we understand and share parents' concerns regarding today's unfortunate action by teachers, and this has been communicated to the Bermuda Union of Teachers. Our hope and expectation is that the instruction will resume tomorrow as normal, meaning today, and we can renew the focus of delivering a first-rate education for parents. We apologize for the inconvenience caused today and will promptly update parents of any issues that may arise impacting school tomorrow. I think that's so tone deaf and it's divisive. I think that statement by the Ministry of Education is tone deaf and divisive, and I'll tell you why it's tone deaf and divisive. It's tone deaf because they address sharing the parents' concerns. What about the educators? What about, call me insane, but people don't just do stage sick-outs for nothing. I think this is a missed opportunity for the ministry. So that's the first part. That's the turn up part. The second part is the divisiveness, right? I'm sure many parents, many children who are guardians or parents of Cedar Bridge students have benefited from sick-outs, union or labor movement in some respect in their jobs. And if they haven't, they benefited from it. But I think it's kind of, that statement really rubbed me the wrong way. Question of the morning is, what concerns you? What concerns you most? Right? What concerns you most about the school? About the teacher sick out at Cedar Bridge Academy? Sorry. What concerns you most about the school teacher sick out at? Actually, we should say staff because they said staff, right? What concerns you most about the staff sick out at Cedar Bridge Academy? What concerns you most? Let us know. I would like to take the approach that the children are suffering. But based on what I'm taking from this, the children are already suffering because the government seemed to have promised something that they're not delivering on. I don't know about you, audience, but I'm reading a bit deeper in this, like as if they said, we're going to have these signature schools, but yet don't have qualified teachers to teach the necessary subjects that have been promised. That's what I'm getting from it. Are you getting that from it? Because I'm concerned that the government's approach is, well, let's get the parents against the staff. No, that's not what we should be doing. What we should be doing is sitting around a table saying, you know what, our students lost one day. Let's rectify this problem ASAP rather than agitating and irritating. Because let's be honest, government, this ain't time to worry about egos. You need the educators. You need the staff. So treat the ones you have kindly. And again, I'm speaking from the outside in, but having dealt with people in government, I understand them. I understand them. I want to know from the audience, though, just by reading what I shared this morning and what you've seen in the news, do you side with the staff at Cedar Bridge, or is, the importance of the students just too high for them to do this? What are your thoughts? Do you side with the staff at Cedar Bridge? Do you side with the staff at Cedar Bridge? Yes or no? Do you side with the staff at Cedar Bridge? Suzanne Ingham says, awesome Thursday, Jamal. I missed you yesterday, Jamal. I also miss Maya, Mia, Larry, Teray, Sanchez, Sherry, Teo, Rajay. Where's Rajay? Look, Jamal, I just missed TDH team. We appreciate you, Suzanne. We definitely do. She says, the teachers are speaking extremely loud. The point is the education ministry hearing? They need to deal with the mess. I support the teachers. The children are not getting an education when the ministry is not listening to the teachers. It's disgusting. Our kids need an education. I'm glad that you took that from it, Suzanne, because I'm really, again, that statement from the ministry last night. We understand and share parents' concerns regarding the teacher's sickle. That's bothersome. That's bothersome. It's divisive. It's not helpful at all. It's not helpful. And my hope is that the ministry can take a real hard look at themselves regarding this situation. Seriously. But audience, yes or no? Do you side with the staff at Cedar Bridge taking the sicko? Do you side with them? Or, are you like, no, it's not about sides. I want what's best for the students. Well, then you'd be siding with the students. But where do you stand on this? And if you're just tuning in, we're speaking about this sicko at Cedar Bridge yesterday, where it's been reported that 59 of Cedar Bridge's 77 staff members had reported absent as of yesterday morning, 6:23 a.m. So 59 of 77 staff members had reported absent. And, they've spoken of challenges at Cedar Bridge recently. It seems that this is ongoing and a resolution obviously has not been reached, but it's concerning. But audience, yes or no, do you side with the staff at Cedar Bridge? Just a yes or no. Do you side with them? Do you understand it? Do you understand it? How do you view it? I simply say, I'm not trying to be a poet here, but if we believe that children are our future, then it's not really just on the educators. It's not just on the staff. I had a close friend who was an educator previously, and he said one of his biggest concerns was that he never felt supported by the Ministry of Education because all the decisions seemed to be political. We're going to have these what they're called schools, these special schools, signature schools. We're going to have them regardless of whether we have the teachers to teach them, because we promised in our political platform that we were going to have signature schools. A child gets suspended from school for acting out, and the parent goes around the school to the ministry, and the ministry says, put that child back in school. Now you're undermining the educators and staff. You don't have to deal with the problem, but what you care about is votes in your constituency. This is what happens when politics gets in the way of education. Again, I am not a fan of that statement that the government put out last night. And again, I'll explain why. It says, We understand and share parents' concerns regarding today's action by teachers, and this has been communicated to the Bermuda Union of Teachers. We share. What about the educators' concerns? What about the staff's concerns? What you should have said is we share everyone's concerns, but who am I? I'm no PR, guy. Anyway, Karen Simmons says, yes, I side with the staff at CBA. If the staff are at this point, it is a serious issue that has been going on for far too long. Okay. Yep. Again, I call me crazy. I've been called worse. But I don't think people are just going to wake up and decide, 69 people decide we're not going to go to work. This has been building up. This is planned. It's premeditated. It's a reason for it. Do you side with the staff at Cedar Bridge? Again, we're discussing what concerns you most about the staff sick out at Cedar Bridge Academy. Renee Simmons says, are the signature school professionals on a higher pay scale? What is the reason for the sick out? I don't know the specific details to understand why there was a sick out. Indeed, based on what I saw in the Royal Gazette, it looked like there was some unhappiness with the current leadership at Cedar Bridge. And they said that it was due to recruitment challenges at the school, which included cover by regular teachers for signature learning teachers who had not yet been hired. So that's what we got from the Royal Gazette, which is interesting. Again, do you side with the staff at Cedar Bridge? They had staged a sick out yesterday. And what concerns you most about the staff sick out at Cedar Bridge Academy? Patrice Roberts says, absolutely, she sides with the staff. Absolutely. Polly Rich says, yes, I side with the teachers. Why is it that programs are always established and no resources put in place to run the programs? Again, this is what's been reported in the Royal Gazette. The ministry has not said anything, as far as I know, saying that they do have staff in place. But again, if this is the case, this is where politics supersedes educators and education. Nicole Hassel says, I definitely side with the teachers. I once sat in a class for 1 hour. It was atrocious. These children are, oh my. Let us know, audience. This is a very serious conversation, because this is not, people have been screaming for years to remove politics from education and let professionals run education. Because of my experience with the Bermuda Tourism Authority, I have not been a fan of that per se. But audience, I'll say this much. I think we have a problem on our hands as a community. And we cannot continue to sit back and let these problems go on. We have to address them head on. We have to. If the ministry doesn't have people in place in the signature schools, then what is the point? Other than we delivered a promise on our political platform. Help me understand this. Seriously, help me. Help me. Because I don't get it. I don't get it. The only thing that I see is, like normal, people not being listened to. Again, from the outside looking in, and based on what was reported in the Gazette and what has been shared by the ministry yesterday via the media, right? Yeah. Divisiveness. If we care about the students, what's that thing? It's a saying, folks. Help me out with this saying. It's a saying that you have to treat your staff right so that your customers are treated right. You know, there's a saying in between or something like that. But this is the same with the students. It's the same with the students. You have to take care of your educators. You have to make sure they have the tools they need. You have to support them in every way possible. Because when you do that, the students, at least they should, benefit greatly. Based on these reports, that's not what's happening. That's not what's happening. Kia Vernay BDA says teachers all around the world really displeased with the education system and are quitting. We have two people of our colleagues, Phil Trott and Larry Marshall Jr., who were both educators. They're perfect examples. Thank you, MP. If you take care of your employees, they will take care of your clients. Take care of your educators. Take care of the teachers. Take care of the staff, and they will take care of the students and the parents and the greater community benefits because of all of it. We've got to do better, man. We've got to do better. Renee Simmons says, if there are no staff in place, then that's another telling sign of the administration. They lack proactiveness. How do you propose a number of signature schools with this insufficient staff available? You do that because of politics. You do that because of politics. Yeah. Thank you, LinkedIn user. It says, take care of your employees, teachers, and they'll take care of your customers, students. Yes, as Maya said. It's important. It's important. Suzanne Ingham says, Jamel, too much politics in all ministries. No politics should be in a child's education. Clearly, the children are not the ministry's first priority. The teachers are fighting for these kids to get a good education. No vote of confidence for the education ministry. Same. I should have used my thing. No bleep. Just another year. Kids should be first. Teachers should know these kids very well and want what's best for them. Indeed. Charles H. Jefferson II says, I support the students. I have to believe that those who have chosen this profession, especially in the public system, are taking steps for the long-term success of the students. Indeed. Thank you, Charles. Karen Simmons says, there will always be a challenge with recruiting specialists in the signature schools because if they are not teacher trained, they're not permitted in the classroom. Again, so was this really thought through or was this just politics? You see where we're going with this, audience? This seems just like another political opportunity for a government that I hope people remember on election day. Anyway, let's bring Maya Palacio in for Daily Hour News Break. Let me put my Halloween costume back on, folks. Let me put my Halloween costume back on and see if I can remember which way it goes on. Yeah, my Halloween costume. Remember, I said I'm going as Donald Trump to steal in the election, all right? Don't worry about me. Put my Halloween. All right, let's bring Maya Palacio in for Daily on. I can't breathe. All right, here we go, folks. Don't forget, we've got Tamara Richardson coming up from Peoples after this. Stick with us. They're celebrating 40 years today.
Good morning. Good morning.
Hey, you look like an educator today.
Honestly, I looked in the mirror and I thought I looked like my mama a little bit.
You know what? I need to remember what your mom looks like. So we're gonna say you're Miss Palacio today. That's what they call your mom.
I'm actually a news reporter from like the late 80s, 90s. They wore a lot of heavy makeup and jewelry.
Oh, so you're going as who's the old news reporter? Barbara Walters. You're Barbara Walters today.
They look a little different, but yeah, sure, you could go ahead and say that.
Yeah, you need a bit more powder to be her. I'm sorry. Well, you're gonna talk like one. Hi, I'm Barbara Walters, and this is.
I thought about that, but I can barely even keep these glasses on right now.
Oh yeah, it's tough. Well, you like my costume? I got it yesterday.
See, when you first put it on and you didn't have the glasses, you just look like a knight without his helmet.
Oh, okay, like this.
Yeah, you look like you need to put on your helmet, like you're walking around the kingdom, whatever, and just waiting for a battle to come out so you can put the helmet on.
Oh, you watch a lot of movies, don't you? Yeah, I guess I'll do that. But Maya, your mom, you just mentioned, she's a teacher, she's an educator. Without giving an opinion, you're closer to school age than myself, and grew up in a household of educators. What are you taking from all of this? Like, you're a person who wants to teach young people how to get into journalism. Do you have a perspective on this? I honestly can't. Yeah, this hot, folks.
Yeah, take it on. It's okay.
I wouldn't survive. I wouldn't survive trying to do anything bad out there.
I would say I've said this before, is like you have to know your journalists. Yes, my mother is a teacher. My father was a teacher too. My aunt was a paraeducator. Like I have a lot of those within my family. So this is a connection to me and I do speak freely on it. So this is my opinion, but also facts that I've learned over the years of being a part of this community. It's just students are with teachers more than they are with their families. Unfortunately, that is the case. You're outside your home 8 hours a day at school. I have a stronger connection as I felt more growing up with my teachers than I did my parents at home, or my mother at home, only because I was there for so long. I was able to express things and say things to my teachers that I probably wouldn't have been able to say to my mom. And that's just, and I know there's students of hers that had that deep connection with her versus their own parents. It is just a thing that has happened because of the time constraints that we have in school. Like we're just always there. That's how the system has brought us up. That's how we are raised in society. Unfortunately, we do spend more time outside of the home than in it. So yes, with the agreements of saying treat your teachers well and they'll treat your students well, sure. But teachers will always go out of their way to do whatever they can, despite the situation that they are in for these students. Like, despite what they are going through, despite what they're given or not given, they will continuously go out of their way.
Yeah.
So in this instance here that like we're hearing that they need something else, they need something more. It takes a long time for them to get there. Like, to pull these strings, to stand their ground, because they know what they have to, I don't want to say give up, but, sacrifice in the risk and the benefit of children and their students. So looking at this, I see it's not a small matter. They've been fighting a continuous battle of, just even understanding signature schools, knowing and not knowing what's going to happen to them next. The government has also been trying to implement these things and have it run smoothly. It doesn't seem like it's very cohesive with the parents and the students and the government, because no one seems to be on the exact same block of like allowing this to like happen smoothly, because there's so many unanswered questions in this.
You definitely co-hosted.
So it is quite a lot to take in right now, but it's no light matter that this happened, and it is something that to keep our eyes on, because the education system is shifting right now in a way that the government has said that it's supposed to during these exact years, 2024, 25, 26. So it's been major shifts.
Yeah, it's shifting, and I think that's part of the concern. Is it shifting for political reasons, or is it shifting for the benefit of the children? And that's what I think we need to keep our eyes on. You can't promise something if we don't have the people in place to deliver on that promise, or can be. MP, we've got your news break. I have a joke for you. It's a Halloween joke. Relax. And then we've got my favorite, Tamara, coming up. We're celebrating 40 years. I'm cheesing too much. I'm sorry. I get late.
It's quite all right. All right. So good morning, everyone. This is your daily hour news break, brought to you by the good people at People's Pharmacy. Starting out your news this morning with some very saddening news, as ongoing reports of death coming from Bermuda's waters do continue, and police have confirmed the death of 44-year-old Angelito Manila. A police spokesperson said Mr. Manila, a guest worker from Philippines, succumbed to his injuries sustained during a medical emergency which occurred at Albo Beach Paget on Thursday, October the 24th. Now, you may recall this story because we did present it here on the show, that police received several reports of a swimmer in distress on the public side of Albo Beach. Members of the public assisted with removing Mr. Manila from the water and brought him onto the beach, with life-saving measures being commenced. He was then taken to the hospital, but again, sadly, he did succumb to those injuries on Tuesday, October the 29th.
So unfortunate. I mean, sending love and comfort to the community and family and friends and colleagues. It's like, if it's not the road fatalities or roads, it's the killings of one another, or something else. My hope is that people are learning from these experiences, and hopefully we can save more people from these incidents.
Indeed, things have to definitely be done. Precautionary steps need to be put in place. On other news, meanwhile, there were two collisions that occurred yesterday. The first one that came through was a serious road traffic collision with a PTB bus and a pedestrian at the junction of Bermudiana Road and Front Street in the city of Hamilton. The scene was processed, but the details on that are very limited at this time. And again, on the same day, there was an emergency services responded to a collision actually on East Broadway involving a car that smashed into the gas station building. The 83-year-old driver was not harmed. However, his wife, 81 years old, was taken to the hospital following the incident, and also a person inside the building was also injured.
Oh, no. That doesn't look good. I hope everybody's okay. And wow.
Yeah, indeed. Just again, like we see collisions happen often. I know we talk about the fatalities as well, but again, these serious injury collisions, because someone was injured inside, something you have to also look into and look out for, because there's way more of those than we do have fatalities. I think I reported in 2022, I think it was like nearly over 200. I'll go back in the stats, but yeah, this is a serious thing that happens on the island.
Did you say just now someone was hit by a bus?
Yeah, pedestrian.
Oh.
And I do believe that area is the exact same area where a sanitation worker, a person that works with the truck, trash truck drivers, was actually hit from a driver who came across. Remember that story we reported it here on the show? It's around the same area there that it happened as well. So
okay.
Yeah. Well, in other news and what we're talking about this morning, I'll keep it quite brief since we went into full detail as well this morning on it. But 80% of CBA staff were absent on October 30th from Cedar Bridge Academy. So that's 59 of the 77 staff members did not show up and staged sort of a sit out or sick out, as you want to call it. So the ministry said that they were unaware of any unresolved issues that would have promoted the actions, and no concerns been raised with the principal regarding the scheduled back to school night for parents on October the 30th. However, you will recall earlier this month on the show that there was an emergency meeting that was called by the staff of Cedar Bridge Academy over a lack of teachers recruited to deliver its signature learning programs, and a vote of no confidence against the school's principal was also planned in relation to the matter. Now, the ministry will be enforcing the policies related to uncertified sick leave, and says that they are committed to continuing open communication to addressing any further concerns as well. But that's where we are this morning.
I said what I had to say. I'll just, say, look, man, I just don't think 69 or 77 are going to sit out for something light. I think these people, to get into education today, you've got to love it as a profession. It's not as rewarding as, maybe IB might be, or, entrepreneurship. So I don't take lightly their concerns, however far strong they may be. And I really do hope that collectively they can stick together for the benefit of the students, so that this gets resolved, and that the students at the end of the day get what they need to become, productive citizens of Bermuda one day.
It's definitely a community involvement when it comes to the students or young people on the island, I will say, though. And we can't leave everything up to the teachers. It's what some people tend to want to do, but it is a thing that happens within the community, within programs, in the home. It's everything that shapes the young people of Bermuda, right? So in terms of that, it's just like, we just need to do what we can. Well, the ministry needs to do what they can for the teachers in order so they can do their part. Meanwhile, an update on Teen Haven. I was unable to get in communication to get a sufficient update for the story this morning. However, Bermuda Broadcasting did release a story, and I encourage anyone to watch that. But here's some facts that they had been able to receive on there, and saying that the trustees hearing in civil court said that their lawyer, which is Larry Scott, trustees lawyer, Larry Scott's trustees lawyer said that the plan to redevelop to financially viable property, and this has to do with the building. So in yesterday's or day before, I reported that wasn't too sure what they are planning to do with the building. Well, in this case, they say they plan to redevelop to financially viable property and not something that will be profited. Now, that's coming from their lawyer. And they also did speak about the safety of the building in the courts, and the Bermuda Broadcasting Company reported that the charity's license did expire on the 29th. So there's a little bit of pieces there that are additional to the story, but I would encourage anyone to just watch their full story as well.
Okay. Thank you.
And meanwhile, here's like a potential actually game changer maybe for the recently opened sports bar Game On. They have secured Boucher's head chef, Mr. Fernandez, who was there for 22 years. So Mr. Fernandez said that when Boucher first closed, he was not concerned because the owner wanted to look for another place. But in an article in the Gazette, Mr. Fernandez said, quote, "That did not happen. So I said to her, I'll be working at Game On. I told her I would try to carry on Boucher's legacy."
Nice.
Yeah.
Go get your pancakes or whatever you used to enjoy out there, folks.
And closing up, as Art Month does come to a close today of October, yesterday you may have missed an incredible discussion by award-winning photographer Jade Gibbons and her newest piece, Wildflowers. So here's a clip of her explaining her art, which is a recognition of Bermudian women and the way in which we grow. So here's the story.
A lot of our flora that we love and we recognize as like Bermuda flora, the nasturtiums, the Bermuda buttercup, the little yellow flowers that you see sometimes, the bluebells, all of those flowers grow from Bermudianas. They all grow from weeds. And I think universally we have this idea that weeds are something that needs to be destroyed or taken up or before they're allowed to grow or take over, right? But if you allow the weeds to grow, we see what comes from it. I just learned this at the night of my opening from my good sis Aisha. Nasturtiums, bless you. Nasturtiums are apparently a delicacy. And yeah. I didn't know that. They just
they are edible.
I know they're edible, but like overseas, they're a delicacy. They're expensive. They're like what's the word? They're popular. Like they just grow in our yards and on the side of the road here. So even that, I when she told me that, I was like, wow, like even that is, it says a lot. And I think that not even just we can use that as an analogy for Bermudian women, but just how overseas people see Bermudians and how, when we leave Bermuda, we just open our mouths and people love us. Like we have, we got the sauce, it is us. And how when we're here, it's like nothing.
Self-love, Jade, self-love. I tell you, it's tough sometimes. Self-love.
Yeah. It was quite a lovely interaction there. And basically the images are particularly a lot of her own family, but also women that have inspired her. So it's very distinct who she picked to be a part of this collaboration. Like even the chair itself, it's a very contemporary piece, but it's something you definitely want to go take a look at. It's beautiful.
Indeed. How's the weather looking?
So today we're looking like generally sunny, actually, which is pretty good. So out there's looking really nice. No rain supposed to come. So that's a nice thing too. A little bit of winds. And we got a high of 74 degrees today. But yeah, looking pretty sunny out there. All
right. That shouldn't be too bad. And also take your time on the road. Even though it's sunny, there's still potholes, folks.
Oh, yes.
Maya, I got to give you a days of the year. But do you want a joke or days of the year first?
I'll take the joke.
You want a joke first? Let's give you a joke. All right, audience. You want a joke? Here we go. Why don't skeletons ever go trick-or-treating?
Why don't skeletons ever go trick-or-treating? Don't be like, because they ain't got no guts.
Because they ain't got nobody to go with. Get it? Like nobody. that one didn't work.
I smiled. There was a crease. There was a crease line.
This was, you were close. They ain't got no guts. They're all bones. Well, today we're gonna do something different for days of the year. While there are, it is National Unity Day, which is a joke in the United States, is Knock Knock Joke Day as well. It's Magic Day, Girl Scout Founders Day, and World Cities Day. But I'm going to go with it's People's Pharmacy Day, celebrating 40 years, and I'm looking forward to the conversation coming up. We do have a question by somebody in the audience about Tamara first. Maya, Charles is asking, is Tamara appearing today in costume? I hope so. Well, people sells costumes. Let's put some pressure on her, right?
Well, she's definitely appearing as the best of something.
Okay. All right. Maya, go suck up somewhere else.
Yeah.
Have a wonderful day, MP. We'll talk soon.
Bye.
All right. My applause here, folks. Do not go anywhere. In the meantime, give us a like, a love. Make sure you share the conversation with your friends, your family, colleagues. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in let's see, 1 minute, 58 seconds with Tamara. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. 1 minute, 58 seconds.
Let's face it, life can be a little wild, but shopping doesn't have to be. I choose People's, so that whether it's a prescription that needs to be filled, a toy for my little terror, or a gift for a new addition to the family, we'll see about that. Everything's available in one convenient location. Some call it People's, I call it my one-stop shop in the city. People's, we're here for you.
Welcome to the new bulk store, Lindo's Next Level. Wake up in the morning with enough coffee to keep you running throughout the entire day. Your pet at home deserves the best. Stock up on dog food to keep your puppy happy. Need a quick, tasty lunch at home? Your chicken nuggets will be jumping right out of the freezer. What's a movie night without popcorn? You can never have too much. Lindo's Next Level. Why go anyplace else?
Unlock your business potential with BDC's General Microloan, offering up to $30,000 for Bermudian small and medium businesses. Whether it's for inventory, working capital, or equipment, we provide 100% guarantee on approved loans. Simple application, low interest rates, and fast processing. Apply today and make your business dream come true.
Looking for the best care for your pets? Novazok Feed and Supply has everything you need, from top quality foods to toys and supplies. We've got it all. Join our frequent buyer program and earn rewards every time you shop. Plus, we've been awarded the Clever Customer Initiative program for helping you save more. And don't forget, we open an hour early on Saturdays so you can get a head start on your pet care. Visit us today or shop online for easy pickup or delivery. Your pets will thank you.
Alrighty, welcome back to the big show. I'm Jamel Hartman. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, Medical Wells, Lindo's, and People's Pharmacy. Please don't forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. All right, without further ado, let's bring on our very special guest for today, celebrating serving the Bermudian community for 40 years. Yeah, actually, older than Maya, younger than me. I guess that means I'm old too, folks. Let's welcome Tamara Richardson from People's Pharmacy. There we go. Hey, Tams, how are you?
If 40 years of People's makes you ill, what does that make me? I'm great.
No, we're not doing that this morning, Tamara. You are wise, you are brilliant, and you are an amazing person and contributor to our community. Thank you for doing this. I know it's early. You could probably be doing so many other things, but you chose to be with us. We appreciate that.
Yes, and good morning. Good morning to the TDH family.
Thank you. Before we get into today's conversation, I want to go back a bit because I've told this story when you've come on before. I just remember, when I was going to St. Paul's Church, I would have to go to Sunday school every now and then. And, we would everybody make the run to Pyramids, as we called it back then. Was the name actually Pyramids, or was it always People's?
No, it was always People's Pharmacy. Okay.
And who's going to Pyramids, whatever. And to know the actual story as you're going to share it just really brings back those childhood memories and, seeing it grow. It's amazing, because when we went back then, there was no parking lot. It was not what it is today. Speak to us about, or just remind the audience about the early days, like the beginnings of People's Pharmacy.
Right. So People's Pharmacy opened its doors in 1984, and it's so hard to even describe how much the entire area around our main store on Victoria Street has changed, how much Jill's Alley has changed, how much North Hamilton, as it's now called, has changed. But yeah, when we first opened our doors, it was a 600 square foot rented space. There was a building I don't know my cardinal directions, but where our current parking lot is now at the entrance at Victoria Street, there was a building there between our building and Jules Alley. So just a very different space. But somehow my mother had a vision. Somehow she felt like that was the perfect space to execute her vision. And 40 years later, it looks like she was right.
Indeed, indeed. 600 square foot space to what is it today?
From Victoria Street to Church Street, just the retail space alone is 10,000 square feet.
Audience, if that doesn't inspire you or motivate you, I mean that's huge. Okay, so 40 years today, and happy 40 years. What were some of the growing pains that the business has experienced but especially during the early days, like some of the challenges experienced in the early days, and how did people respond to them and overcome them?
So in the earlier days, I was only 8 or 9. So I really can only speak for the last 20 or so years, but I think if my mother was here, perhaps that's my costume today. I'm going as my mother. If my mother was here in 1984, I think in those days she faced a lot more discrimination. Bermuda was definitely not accustomed to a woman-run business, a Black Bermudian woman-run business. She named People's Pharmacy People's because she wanted to open a business that catered to all people in Bermuda. She felt like where she was working at the time, primarily her Black customers weren't as well served as they could be. She felt like she could bring better customer service to a population that she felt was underserved. So I think those were the larger challenges at that time. 40 years later is a whole new set of challenges. So I guess in business, you adapt with the times, you do what you can to be successful against the challenges, but there will always be challenges.
I want to shift gears a bit because I think the slogan's more than a pharmacy, if I'm not mistaken.
I think we've had a few slogans, but we are definitely more than a pharmacy, yes.
Yeah, and you are. And how has people's been able to go from just being that pharmacy kind of convenient space to retail space and toy store and the like? Like, speak to us about that expansion over the years.
So I think my mother would definitely blame that on me. I have a love of shopping. Fortunately for me, I was able to turn that love of shopping into a passion for retail. So although we did start out as a pharmacy, we also always had what we call the front shop. So we always sold snacks and, in the earlier days, my mom and my aunt, Alethea Rebane, who started working the day we opened our door, they would import toys just for Christmas. So it just started slowly with us adding, different categories, seeing what worked, learning painfully what didn't work. And then whatever worked, we just learned how to do it better and to do it the best we could. We greatly expanded our beauty section when I came back from university. I went to university in Atlanta, where Black beauty products, like it was the most I had ever seen in my life. At that time, Bermuda, like our options for hair products were, 1 or 2 different shampoos. Back then, 1 or 2 perms. So I think just as I traveled the world and as I learned about all the new things that existed, we were able to adapt that and adopt that for People's. And here we are today, 10,000 square feet later, 3 locations later, still learning how to adapt, adopt, and make it the best we can make it for our customers.
Speaking of adaptation and latching on to what you just said, there is a new challenge that we all face today, especially as a small community like Bermuda, with people shopping more and more online and bringing things in. How is people's continuing to respond to that problem that we're facing?
I think, choice is an important thing. We all are free to choose where we want to shop, what we want to shop. And so our buying team, we have learned what people want to come into the store for. There's still a large population of people who actually want to touch and feel things, specific categories of things, before they buy it. And then pricing is very important. A lot of our vitamin supplements are very fairly priced, based on what you can get them abroad and bring them in at. So I think it's just a matter of learning. Amazon definitely changed the game. So it was just a matter of us, again, adapting and learning what our customers want and need. We're in the business of solving our customers' problems. And so, if they no longer have a problem bringing in the latest Barbie, then we just have to figure out what their current problem is and try to solve that. So that's how we've managed to handle the online shopping. The pandemic definitely made it, I think, clearer to people that it is important to have some products available online. In Bermuda. So we're just learning to find the balance of what we need to keep in stock, in store, versus just accept that people are going to get it online.
Indeed. Audience, if you have any questions or comments for Tamara, please send them through. We'll get through as many as possible. Mark Arthur C. Phillips, he actually says, my late mom used to tell me all of the discrimination that people's faced in the early years. I hadn't thought of that. And the crazy thing is, as much as we speak about women empowerment and the like, your mom had two, things against that, being a woman at that time, especially a Black woman. So I could only imagine what the, not necessarily struggle, but challenges may have been that she faced. But here we are 40 years later. Suzanne Ingham says, I used to make deliveries there. Mr. Pearman would always, the BMV deliveries. He was such a humble, caring, pleasant, and content gentleman. I loved to deliver there and always loved our brief chat. Such a wonderful gentleman. People's is the place to go. Speak about the impact that your grandfather had on the business.
My grandfather was a giant of a man. I've actually yet to meet someone who, doesn't have similar sentiments about my grandfather. So my mother definitely was the founder. She definitely started People's. Sometimes there's this belief that she inherited it from her father or came in to help her father. No, my mother started People's Pharmacy. My grandfather, her father, retired from his full-time job at the base, at the U.S. Naval Base that used to be here at that time, and believed in her vision, and so joined her to help run the front shop. My mother was a pharmacist, so she was busy operating the dispensary. My grandfather's job was taking care of everything else. So he was an amazing man. My mother's two sisters also joined my grandfather and my mother in terms of setting up the business. And so hence the Pearman family.
Yep.
Not People's, but the Pearman family business.
That's all I knew. I literally thought that was the name until I became a teenager. I'm like, huh? Did they change the name? But yeah, that's a great thing. But I want to go, I'll get back to the audience because they are asking some questions, but I want to speak a bit about how things have changed, because one of the things in the US over the last decade is more and more states, not federally, but state-wise, have changed laws where, things like CBD and THC products are now available. Speak to what that's been like in terms of providing. Has there been an uptick in people being prescribed such or needing such or requesting such? And how has that impacted people's not impacted them in a bad way, but provided another outlet to on offerings?
That is a very sensitive topic right now. I actually don't even understand where we want to go as a country with cannabis, especially medical cannabis. The law, as far as I know, has not changed. However, it seems as though how the law is policed has changed. We're having huge problems bringing our cannabis products into Bermuda. Up until this last shipment, we have never had a problem. We still have products on our shelves, what's left. But as of today, I actually can't even tell the Bermuda public where we are going with cannabis in Bermuda. And that's extremely concerning for me. I've put a lot of energy into educating the public, put a lot of time into resourcing and researching, the safest, best products to offer for people. And I have some extreme concerns around the safety and sustainability of medical cannabis in Bermuda. So that's about all I can tell you right now. It's very concerning.
Yeah, and thank you. That was just off the cuff because I was thinking of the benefit, how so many people I know have benefited from the medical aspect of it over the last few years. And
a lot of people, to the point where they've been able to come off of prescription drugs, to the point where they've been able to, if they can't afford, I hate to say the word traditional, but if they can't afford, to go to the doctor or what have you, they're able to try cannabis. We used to have all different, price points, entry points. And so they effectively were in better control of managing their conditions.
Mhm.
Now we're at a point where our shelves are bare.
Mhm.
We literally have, nothing to offer our customers who are calling us every day for the products that were working so well for them.
That is so disappointing. And folks, I don't know if we have these conversations all the time about, people having ailments, different. I know people who have literally been getting it, for people who have been dealing with Parkinson's and cancer and so on. So this is unfortunate, and hopefully
insomnia, anxiety, not to cut you off, but considering 2 years ago, we had a government who was pushing for full legalization. Sorry, but this is really like a hot topic for me, but to think 2 years ago, we were pushing for full legalization. And now, we can't even get CBD in the country easily.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. So
no, it is, and it's crazy disgusting that there seems to be a lack of understanding or consistency in how they are applying the law. And I think it's something that the public and the audience, I hope that you guys understand, because it's one of those things, I'm telling you, you don't want to get to a place where you don't complain until you need it or someone you love needs it. It's something that I think you should address now. We have a question for you, Tamara. Sonia Clark's asking, what are the 3 locations? I only know of 2 of them.
I need to do a better job. So in May, we opened our 3rd location in the Hamilton Medical Center. So right on Burnaby Street, inside the, I guess it's thought of as an urgent care facility. We have our 3rd dispensary. It's just a dispensary dispensing prescription medication, and we do carry some over the counter, so Tylenol, Advil, whatever you might need. If you're in a rush. We have our 2nd location that we opened in the lobby of the hospital's acute care wing, and of course our flagship store on Victoria Street. So
right.
3 locations, 3 different areas, where we are wherever you need us.
All right. So not sure if this is publicly known, but your mother has now retired. And now you are overseeing Peoples as the current CEO. You've expanded just now, as you mentioned, into the Hamilton Medical Center. How do you plan to set up Peoples to experience another successful 40 years and responding to new challenges and opportunities that may arise?
So I think one of the most important things for us is a sound succession plan that stretches beyond pyramids. So building, it's been extremely important for my mother and myself to build a capable, a willing, and an able management team. We have such an amazing team who work with us day in and day out, who have dedicated themselves to us along the way. And I think that's what's going to be most important for us to continue our success, to be able to find, keep, train, and grow with great talent in our management team, in our operating team, the people who face the customers and the people behind the scenes. It does take quite a bit to keep an operation the size of People's running. We have staff members who work in Bermuda, outside of Bermuda. So it's quite a team.
Mm-hmm.
So I think just optimizing our team is going to be most important for our success, because I can no longer do it all.
Indeed, indeed. Charles H. Jeffs II, he says, congratulations, Tamara. I look forward to seeing your leadership. How your leadership will take the business to the next level. And saying that, gotta ask you, 40 years, that's no light feat. How are you celebrating? How is people celebrating 40 years?
So my mother opened People's Pharmacy on Halloween. It's a challenge for any retail business to celebrate on Halloween. So we will be celebrating with the staff together with our Christmas celebration on November 30th. Tomorrow, we're having a thank you lunch for the staff. For our customers, we are going to push our celebrations back a bit. And instead of what people like to call Black Friday, we'll be having our celebration promotions and discounts that the week of, I'm going to get the dates wrong, but what would typically be Thanksgiving week, we'll be celebrating that week with our customers. So stay tuned to our social media for all the different discounts on the different departments throughout the store.
All righty. And I haven't gotten approval from, BCG back, but we're going to give away a $40 gift certificate in honor of 40 people today.
Yes, approved.
All right. So we're going to do a hashtag giveaway when we come back. Tamara, thank you so much and congratulations. I think that People's is an example of, how to get started, how to evolve, how to grow. I personally, it was my go. I mentioned on Tuesday, I would go when I worked at Hot 107.5, go over there for my morning snack, and I would always, you'd have to tag people there. I would, give my couple dollars there, but it became a staple for me. It became a staple, and from even when then, you were still growing into the space, into the retail space at that time. For a bit, I don't think we've spoken about this enough, but for a business to succeed and last that long in that space, this is not like the center of the city. It's not prime location. That people consider. So I think it takes a certain level of drive to do what you all have been able to do. And so I congratulate you. I thank you guys for being an inspiration to so many other, not just Black businesses, but women who can do this. And I like what you said about your grandfather. I think that that support, that kind of support, to get behind someone taking a risk is so imperative to the growth of so many small businesses. So that's a story that I hope we can read in a book one day. I really do.
Yes, and we shouldn't underplay my grandmother's part, because my grandmother stayed home and raised the grandchildren. So my generation, while our parents were out making, the vision a reality. So it definitely was a family effort. It definitely takes a village. So just a reminder to everyone that if you have a dream and you have a vision, just make sure you have the support who stands by you to make it happen.
As the Honorable Mark Bean would say, the family unit.
Absolutely. In whatever form it looks like.
Absolutely. Family at whatever form. Real quickly, before you go, a couple more things. Richard Scott says, huge congratulations to Ms. Richardson, her mom, and the Perman family. This is, quote,
thank you.
Quote, type of accomplishment. Well done. I agree, brother Richard. Definitely agree. And then another congratulations. They'll keep coming, so I'm not going to keep you too long. But Karen Simmons says, congratulations, People's Pharmacy, 40 years strong. Folks, don't go anywhere. We're going to give away something. Tamara, thank you so much for making time for us. It's been like 5-10 years since you've been on. Yeah. In the early days, we had you a lot, but thank you so much, and wishing you another successful 40 years. Talk soon.
Thank you. Talk soon.
Alrighty. Tamara Richardson, folks, if you appreciated that conversation, please give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. We're going to do the hashtag giveaway, right? I'll tell you what the hashtag is going to be when you come back. Do not start putting anything. I'm going to tell you what it is, all right? But in the meantime, if you have not already, folks, you want to go and you want to do our survey, all right? You want to go and do the survey. What survey am I talking about, huh? I'm talking about the Daily Hours annual survey. You want to go and do that. So I'm going to put it in the comments now. All right. Just click that link. If you have not done it already, please click that link. Please click that link. All right. That's the link. Click that link, or you can go to our website, scroll down and click it. In the meantime, give us a love, a like, a thumbs up. We're going to be back in 57 seconds. We'll do the hashtag giveaway, and someone else is going to be eligible for tomorrow's prize with the Daily Play. Stick with us.
Hey, Daily Hour community. It's that time of year again. The Daily Hour's annual survey is live, and we want to hear from you. This is your chance to tell us what you love, what you'd like to see more of, and how we can make your viewing experience even better. It only takes a few minutes, and your feedback helps us shape our show for the year ahead. So don't wait, click the link, fill out the survey, and help us continue to improve our community one conversation at a time.
Take a look at our workwear for construction workers and tradesmen. Durable, stretchable in all the right places, and plenty of options for tools and accessories. Pair with our wide range of tough and comfortable footwear. You can't go wrong. As you can see, Medical House really is a one-stop shop for everybody. We can't wait to see you.
See it all at our new expanded location on Bakery Lane.
Alrighty, thanks again to Tamara Richardson. Thanks again to Tamara Richardson from People's Pharmacy for joining us this morning. Such a wonderful conversation, folks. Honestly, when I say share that conversation with your friends, your family, your colleagues, I mean it. And to this morning's conversation, especially because it's a powerful story about how a family created and built a staple in our community that is serving our community by employing people and giving them what they need, right, in times of need. So please share the conversation. So thanks again to the BAC group of companies, Medical House, Lindos, and People's Pharmacy for ensuring that we can have these conversations with you on a regular basis. If you haven't already, just take 2 seconds to give us a like, a love, a thumbs up. Make sure you share it with as many people as possible. It is time for the Daily Play, brought to you by Bermuda Trivia, now available at stores throughout Bermuda. Follow Bermuda Trivia on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok to find out why it's Bermuda's favorite trivia game. All right, it's a Name That Place, audience. Name that place. The first person to answer correctly on my screen will be eligible for tomorrow's draw. All right, here we go. Name that place. Indonesia and what African nation are the world's largest producers of vanilla beans? Wow, y'all are good. I'm just going to go with translations. Says Madagascar, everyone got it. Man, you all are good. Shamari, Stacey Ann, Kristen Souza, but we're gonna give it to translations who got it first. So we're gonna notice I ain't trying to pronounce the first word. You all ain't teach me that. So translations, we'll get you in there. There we go. You are in the draw. Congratulations to you. Don't worry, we're going to give away $40 in a second. Hashtag peoples, folks. Hashtag peoples. Oh, that's Rosalind. I should have known that. That's not. Okay, that's Rosalind. Rosalind's trying. See, Rosalind's got to teach me some things too, how to pronounce that. All right. Hashtag this morning is peoples. Hashtag peoples40. Sorry, peoples40. So the hashtag giveaway for a $40 gift voucher to peoples is going to be peoples40. All right. Hashtag peoples40. Peoples40. So not just peoples. I'm sorry, I misspoke. It's peoples40. Peoples40. All right. So peoples40. So sorry I gave you the wrong one, but I'll wrap it up while you all put that up. Peoples40. Peoples40. Let me set it up and get you all, because I know how you all will talk about me if I don't make sure that I give you the right hashtag. So peoples40. All right, let's wrap it up. This morning's conversation and discussion regarding the education and this teacher sicko. I'm just going to repeat what I said earlier. I think it's so important for us to understand that in order for students to get the best, They need to be taught by the best. And in order to ensure they're taught by the best, the people who are doing the teaching need to have the best backing. I don't know every detail about what's going on, but from what I do know, it's been the world over, as Kiev and ABDA said. Educators have not been getting the support that they need for far too long. We need educators. This seems political. We don't have time for politics when it comes to our children and students. Let's hope we can get a resolution soon that's in the interest, not of the political party or just the educators, but the children, the students who benefit. All right. I also want to let you know, I did check my phone during the break. Thank you so much, Maya. Maya has did forget to mention that 2 suspects have been arrested in connection to the case of Ethan Aruda, who lost his life tragically last weekend. So thank you so much for that, Maya. Appreciate that. So that is, I'm happy that we do have an arrest, but let's hope that the perpetrators, the people responsible for this, are not only arrested, but charged and convicted and face the consequences of their actions. All right, let's bring up the hashtag giveaway. Somebody's gonna get a $40 go. All right, now look, I hope everyone that is doing the hashtag has done the survey. Don't let us down. All right, let's do this. Let's see, who is it gonna be? Lucky 40. Let's hit it. Let's hit it. Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? $40. For $40. Polly Rich, congratulations to you. Congrats. You will be getting give a big congrats to Polly Rich, folks. Give a big congratulations. Polly, have you filled out the survey? Please do if you haven't already. Polly Rich is the winner today. Audience, give her a big round of applause. Clap for her. Also, please send an email to engage@thedailyhour.com today so that we can get you your $40 gift card voucher to Peoples. If you want to include me, feel free. My email is Jamel, Jamel, @bermudacommunications.com. So you can send an email to engage@thedailyhour.com and include me. All right, audience, it is time to head out. And you know what? Usually at this time, we give you a quote, right? But I wanted to quote something similar to what Tamara said this morning. But I'll say this much. She's a rolling quote machine. Pick out whatever you want out of that conversation as inspiration for today, because there was so much. There were many. There were many. And I hope that you can go back, listen to what she said and how that business grew as a family business, and find ways to help yourself, your family, and your community. Audience, don't forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Thanks again to our partners, the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House Lindos, and People's Pharmacy, for ensuring that we're able to do this with you on a daily basis. As always, we appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you for making this part of your daily routine. If all goes well, we'll be back to do this again with you tomorrow. I'm Jamel Hartman. Please do make it a safe and a great day. We are out. Peace.